1986's Short Circuit was a fun little film and what have you. And now, 2 years after that, number five, or should I say Johnny Five, returned for his one and only sequel, which may not get as much love or respect as its predecessor, even though it didn't do so well. Here's my review of Short Circuit 2. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Need more input? So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1988 sci-fi comedy flick Short Circuit 2, released by TriStar, directed by Kenneth Johnson, starring Fisher Stevens back in his role from the first film as Ben Javari, Yavari, along with Michael McKean, Cynthia Gibb, and Tim Blaney once again voicing Johnny Five. The film was released on July 6, 1988, and while despite it didn't do quite as well as its predecessor, it still did okay, but still not completely great. So I'll go ahead and give you the story. But first, if you haven't seen my review of the first Short Circuit, check that review out before of a video out before you check out this one. All right, then let's get started with the story. After being fired from Nova Robotics after the events of the first movie, Benjamin Yavari Ni Jabatia starts up his own business, Titanic Toy Corporation, which specializes in making sophisticated toy robots that he builds by hand from the back of his truck. For 2 days, Ben has been in unspecified U.S. metropolis peddling his toy robots on the street corners. One robot wanders away from his stand and ends up in the office of Sandy Benattoni, an assistant buyer for Simpson's toy department. Sandy tracks Ben down and orders 1,000 of his toys. Overhearing this offer is a con artist named Fred Ritter, who smooth talks his way into brokering the transaction between Ben and Sandy, becoming Ben's business partner in the deal, and later acquires the funding Ben needs from a loan shark. Ben and Fred hire some workers and move into a derelict warehouse, which, unknown to them, is the base of operations for thieves who are tunneling into a bank vault across the street to steal a set of jewels known as the Vanderveer collection. The thieves, Saunders and Jones, assault Ben and Fred and destroy their equipment, causing the new workers to flee and preventing them from completing Sandy's order. However, Ben's friends Stephanie Speck and Newing Crosby have sent Johnny Five, a robot who became sentient after being struck by lightning, whom Ben helped to create. When Saunders and Jones return, Johnny fends them off, then sets up self-defense mechanisms should they try to break in again. Johnny sets to work mass producing the toys to meet Sandy's deadline, but later leaves to explore the city. He runs afoul of many people who are rude and unfriendly to him. He befriends one man, Oscar Baldwin, who works at the bank across the street from Ben and Fred's warehouse. Fred, having learned that Johnny is worth $11 million, tries to sell him. Discovering this, Johnny escapes into the sea, is taken into police custody, and is placed in the stolen goods warehouse where he is claimed by Ben. Johnny uses his robotic abilities to help Ben court Sandy. With time running out before the Vanderveer collection is moved from the bank, Saunders and Jones lock Ben and Fred in the freezer of a Chinese restaurant. It is revealed that Oscar is the mastermind of the heist, and he tricks Johnny into finishing the tunnel leading to the vault. Ben and Fred get Sandy to save them using polyphonic renditions of songs that Ben learned on his date with her as clues to their location. Having discovered the Vanderveer collection, Johnny deduces Oscar's true intentions and is severely damaged by Saunders and Jones per Oscar's orders. As Ben, Fred, and Sandy Return to the warehouse, the police arrest Ben and Sandy as suspects in the bank vault break in. Fred eludes capture and later finds the disheveled Johnny in an alley and informs him of Ben's arrest. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below. If you have seen this movie already, which you can blame me as I count down now, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Fred attempts to repair Johnny by breaking into a Radio Shack and following Johnny's guidance, but with limited success. Ben and Sandy are cleared of any charges for the break-in and persuade the police to help locate Johnny. An enraged Johnny vows revenge for Oscar's betrayal, and with Fred's help, tracks down Oscar and his accomplices. Saunders and Jones are caught by Fred and Johnny and later arrested. However, Oscar attacks Fred and attempts to flee on a boat. Johnny gives chase and, as his backup battery dwindles, uses a crane to swing Tarzan style to capture Oscar, who is then apprehended by police. Ben, Fred, and Sandy arrive and tend to an exhausted Johnny while the last of his power supply depletes. Ben revives Johnny with a defibrillator. Johnny is fully repaired and becomes a celebrity while Ben, Fred, and Sandy start a new company called Input Incorporated, with Johnny as its mascot. Johnny and Ben later take the oath of allegiance to become United States citizens. At the ceremony, when questioned by reporters about his thoughts on becoming the country's first robotic citizen, a gold-plated Johnny leaps into the air and exclaims, "I feel alive!" End of story. So what did I think of Short Circuit 2? Well, I've only seen this a couple of times. I saw this a long time ago as a kid, but and wait a minute, I might have revisited one to correct it. Let's make that 3 times. I think I rewatched this on TV years later in the 90s or 2000s, and then soon I got to see it again on Tubi. Well, I'm gonna say it's a pretty underrated sequel, though. I know it kind of, in a way, well, I am correct. We kind of underperformed though at the box office in a way. It made 21 million here in the U.S. on its against its $15 million budget, but unfortunately, it didn't do so hot and what have you. Nevertheless, like its predecessor, it got nominated for Saturn Awards, and while its reviews weren't as quite as high as its predecessor, it did, but it still got mixed reviews though. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a score of 43%, and Cinema Score gave it a grade of an A minus. The New York Times gave the film a negative review, saying, "For anyone over the age of 6, the film is as much fun as wearing wet sneakers." The Washington Post gave it a mixed review, saying the film is unabashedly mawkish and sophomoric, and the actors support the technology. But if you're a kid or an adult when a rector set, you might just enjoy this summer weight caper. Most of the positive reviews were accepting of the film's flaws. Variety added, "Mild and meek, the film has an uncomplicated sweetness as a successful follow-up to the original Robot Kitty comedy." Siskel and Ebert, despite disliking its predecessor, they gave it 2 thumbs up. Ebert said the movie will probably seem better the younger you are, but that it was pleasant and entertaining. Siskel called it better than the original and said the dialogue made him laugh out loud, and argued that the movie works because he felt bad when the robot was being attacked. Now, according to the LA Times, they noted that Wilson and Maddox, let me see here. Yeah, who are they're referring to S.S. Wilson and Brett Maddox, who wrote the film's story, have improved considerably here. They're just as derivative and glib, but more thoughtful. Their construction is more depth, their dialogue is better, and they make number 5 come more alive. That's true. They did make Johnny 5 even more fun and hysterical, might be. But I still like the first film a whole lot more because it is a shame they didn't have Ali Shee and Steve Guttenberg return. But anyway, I still say I did enjoy this film for what it had to offer. At least it had a lot of the fun, humor, and some of the emotional depth we got from the first film. I especially liked one part where Johnny goes into a bookstore where he gets a whole load of input. Oh boy, it was funny. Very funny. Anyway, film's been released on physical media before, including Blu-ray, and it was recently released in the UK on Blu-ray in 2021, which that's really something. Charles Fox does the score, and well, that's not too bad. Now for our cast, Tim Blaney, again voicing Johnny Five, I'd say he's still funny, and that's all that matters about this robot. Mm-hmm. Fisher Stevens once again returns as Ben, and I'm gonna say he was good as before. Michael McKean played Fred. He was pretty funny. Cynthia Gibb played Sandy. She was good. Jack Weston played Oscar. Really good. David Hemlin played Jones. And Dee McCafferty played Saunders. While despite she wasn't in the film, we did hear the voice of Stephanie by Ali Sheedy, but unfortunately she was uncredited. But anywho, again, I feel like while despite it wasn't as big as its predecessor, but I feel like Short Circuit 2 is easily an underrated sequel in my opinion, but you don't have to take my word for it. Would I recommend it though? Well, if you feel like you want to, give it a one-time watch if you want to know what happens after the first film. But if not, stick with the first one. But if you really like robots, then well, this would be perfect for your viewing pleasure. So, what did you think of Short Circuit 2? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Get them to know me, and, well, have them check out my vids. You can share them as well, and well, it can also help make my channel grow a little more. And we'll have another video coming up soon, because I will have another video before I do the next Saturday morning TV log. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews of these other films. I'll do these two previous Transformers films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Bumblebee, solo film, of course. The upper right-hand corner is my spoiler-free review on the new animated film of Transformers 1. Or if you would like a little more fun stuff and what have you, with a little sci-fi feel to it, then you can check out my review for, well, you can check out one of my earlier video reviews, and it's on the another underrated Disney film. It's the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes from 1969, and the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.